And one day, late in the 2000s, I was sort of looking at this library, and I asked myself, God, how did all this music actually get here in the first place? Like, how is this actually possible? And as I began to investigate this, I found the most astonishing thing. Almost all the files that I had could be traced back to just 3 people. One of the guys was a guy named Karl-Heinz Brandenburg, who was a brilliant German inventor. And he had spent his life investigating the properties of the human ear and how to actually delete frequencies that were invisible to it or inaudible to it. And in this way, he came up with something that we now call the MP3 encoder, which had the ability to take the information on a compact disc and shrink it by about 90% with very little loss in audio quality. But he was totally unable to monetize this invention. He was locked out of the marketplace, as brilliant as it was. And in desperation, in 1995, he posted it for free public download to his website. Within a couple years, the pirates got a hold of it, and he ended up making hundreds of millions of dollars from intellectual property licensing. But the irony of that is that whole fortune was built on the greatest wave of copyright infringement that the world had ever seen. The second guy was a guy named Doug Morris, and he was a powerful music executive in the mid-90s in Time Warner. And he started to realize that the future of pop music was rap. So he started to sign all the major label rappers of the early 90s. Tupac Shakur, Dr. Dre, all those famous names from the past, Snoop Dogg. And this music was very controversial. Bill Bennett, who had been Ronald Reagan's drug czar, didn't like it. And he went after him. They bought shares in Time Warner, and they showed up to shareholder meetings and protested, demanding that the executives at the company read the rap lyrics from, say, Dr. Dre and Tupac Shakur aloud. Needless to say, the executives refused to do so, and within a couple months, Morris was fired. But he picked himself up, and he dusted himself off, and he began one of the great second acts of sort of American music business, signing all those same rappers once again, and eventually cornering the market. In 2000, he signed the largest recording industry contract anyone's ever seen, and he made about $200 million over the next 10 years. But as he did that, he was presiding over an empire in decline. And that was because of a third guy, who was really the most fascinating guy of all. His name was Dell Glover, and he was a compact disc manufacturing facility worker at the Kings Mountain plant here in North Carolina. He worked the packaging line, so all of the discs would sort of come in a virgin state right past him every day. The plant could put up about 1 million discs in a single day. And because of all of Universal's big signings that were happening, all of this music was literally at his fingertips. He devised a method to smuggle it out, and through a cabal of similar leakers that he joined online, got probably about 2,000 discs out of the plant over the course of 7 years, ripped them to MP3, and uploaded them to the secret top sites that the group ran. Within hours, this music would be found on peer-to-peer servers like Kazaa and LimeWire, torrents and stuff like that. And it could be found on iPods around the globe within a couple days. So if you ever had music on your hard drive and you weren't sure where it came from, it probably literally came through this guy's hands.